What's up, guys? Today we're going to be taking a look at the Mage class, arguably one of the strongest classes in the game. Now, the Mage is a caster, a ranged caster class, somewhat like the Ranger, which also does healing if you're a water mage and extra damage if you're a fire mage. Now, currently at this point in the game, this is the earliest alpha, only a few days after release. The Mage is pretty powerful as a water, and you're not seeing a whole lot of fire mages. The water mage, to be honest with you, just seems to be a lot more viable. So if you look at the abilities here, the first one you have is a healing stream, which will heal you, and it will use mana to do so, and as you level it up, I believe it uses less mana. However, it won't use... if you don't have enough mana, it will still just use what you have to heal you up. The next ability we're going to look at here is your mana shield. So you're protected by a mana shield which absorbs damage. There's no real... like, right now, to calculate how much it absorbs, it's kind of a little bit wonky. However, you can absorb a pretty strong hit as you start putting points into this. The next one is your teleport, which... it's not a lot of people know whether they should put points into it or not. I chose not to, because alternatively, you can use your glider to kite around mobs. Now, this might seem stupid while you're on, like, you know, a low level here, but you can still use it like that to glide over somewhere else, roll, and continue attacking. And then again, yeah, people will use the blink for that as well to get some distance. Now, the Mage has an attack speed, aka tempo increase, when you land successful hits on a target. So the amount of hits you land will increase your tempo. And the tempo speed increase will also vary depending on the weapons that you're wielding. Currently in this version of the game, there's a bug where you're able to equip your wand or sword, basically a two-handed weapon, as well as a one-handed bracelet. Now, this is with all classes, and is just a bug, so I'm going to be doing a lot more damage than I normally would. However, I'll unequip this weapon to show you what my damage output's like, even on only a level 55 mage. Now, a level 55 mage can still almost one-hit anything that's blue or orange as far as trash mobs go. And what I mean by trash mobs is just, you know, the standard things that you see running around, like horses and, you know, just little enemies, witches, stuff like that. Like this blue lizard man shouldn't be much of a problem for me. I'm gonna have to unfortunately re-equip my wand here. And you see, I can basically, not one hit, but he doesn't stand much of a chance. I get the stun off, and a blue mob really doesn't do a whole lot to me, and they're very easily taken down. And the same thing goes for orange mobs. Now, when you're talking about larger bosses or larger mobs or specialty mobs, a lot of mobs have different abilities and different skill levels. And some of them will be able to take you down, even though you can normally just kill an orange mob without any issue. Some of them will be able to take you down regardless. And the Mage is really strong for their kiting ability and healing ability. With the Mages, before the mana bug was removed, you pretty much didn't even have to worry about potions at all. Now, potions are pretty useful to have on hand. However, if you're good at the Mage, you can pretty much kite down an orange mob that would, or an orange boss that would take you about 10 to 15 minutes of in real life time to kill if you're good at kiting. Now, these guys here are probably going to cause me no issue at all to take down. And you see that these guys are still offering 12 to 16 XP per, and I'm having absolutely no trouble at all just destroying them. I don't have a super overpowered weapon. I don't have super overpowered gear. In fact, I've only got one yellow item on this character, and just everything is pretty much not a problem. Now, late game, a lot of classes aren't going to be too much of an issue, but the Mage is just one that excels based on the sustain that you have, you know, the small need for potions or food, and yeah, just overall a quality player, a quality class for both solo and group. Now, the reason why this class is so nice for groups is the fact that your number 2 ability will do what's called the puddle, which you can see on the ground there. Now, standing in the puddle, it heals quite a bit. As this levels up, this is going to be healing. So as you're standing in the backlines while you have a warrior tanking, your puddle will be attacking mobs and healing your friends, which are in the puddle, as well as their pets. So it does an AoE, and it doesn't take into account how many people are in the puddle and distribute healing evenly. It just gives them all the same healing, so it's very, very strong. Now, as I'm in very early alpha, the Mage does have a planned nerf. I'm not sure what that will be, whether it will be the healing down or the damage down, because right now they do tons of damage as well as tons of healing. So there's a nerf in place, but yeah, they're very strong right now. So that's the Mage class, if you're looking for a class. Arguably, again, one of the strongest classes in the game. Subjectable for a nerf, unfortunately. But is a very strong class. I recommend it for maybe if you're you like the range casters and you want a strong class to start out, as long as you get it before that nerf, you should be fine. The Mage is a really fun class to play. It's really great to have in a group as well with your friends. You can do healing. Your number one ability, the only quirks and things I would say with the Mage is your number one ability is very difficult to aim on other players. If there was maybe a lock-on system, things would be a lot nicer. As you see, say if I want to heal, say that guy over there and my pet was in the way, then my pet would get the healing, as you can see. And to heal yourself, you've got to look straight down like that, so you're kind of losing some vision. And when you're trying to heal somebody else like that, if their pet just stands in the way, they're going to start tanking the healing, etc. And it's a little bit difficult to land. But all in all, I think the Mages are pretty good. As you start to level up the abilities, they don't use so much mana. Even my heal here, you can see, will use about half my mana, and that charges up pretty quickly, and I can start to use my mouse too again, and just in general, just, using your abilities, which, if you can land them, will just increase tempo anyways and become very spammy. And you can just keep spamming. Mage is a very strong class, as I said, and you should have no problem as, you get to the higher levels tanking and defeating those large bosses on your own. The only downfall with the Mages right now is if you're dealing with a group and you can't hit them all at one time, you're squishy. So a good pet to recommend with the Mage would be the turtle, because the turtles are very tanky and they have no problem getting up and close into the action and tanking for you. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. I'll leave a link at the end of this video to all my other class reviews, small, very small, not in-depth reviews, just to get you started and basically show you an idea of what the class is like if you're getting into this game and you're curious. So that's Mages for you, everybody.